Some legends are born, and some are forged in the cold, ruthless iron of a peacemaker in the Old West. In the venomous dry dust of a ghost town, where even the tombstones have long forgotten the names of the dead who have long since passed from the mortal coils of this carnal existence. And speaking of names, many desperados and slingerers of the Colt 45 tried to make a name for themselves by calling out the nut with no name and challenging him to a duel in the middle of the streets of Laredo, where they met their maker and were sent straight to hell, courtesy of a cold serving of lead, where they gave up the ghost as he stared into the eyes of the dying, with only one last question to ask with their dying breath. What is his name? What in the name of hell is your name? But he just rode out of town without saying a word. Some said his name was Vengeance, and others called him the Spirit of the West. But only one thing was for sure. Everyone knew that his middle name was Trouble. And if you went looking for him, trouble was exactly what you were going to find.
He was the nut with no name, a legend of the West. Yet everyone knew who he was and what he stood for, and was one being hungry to stand against, like the Grim Reaper in a shell, who would send a cowboy who faced him straight to hell.
And this was the tale of the nut with no name. His father was a rattlesnake, and his mother was a tornado. No one knew where he was from, but you could always tell where he has been on account of the buzzards that were circling the sky. He was deadlier than a sidewinder, and more lethal than a desert scorpion. Wherever he went, you knew death was sure to follow. A coffin maker couldn't have a better friend. Some called him the Widowmaker, but that was just his nickname. He was more mysterious than Desert Sun, and hard to tame than the toughest bronco. That was the nut with no name. But the legend is, he was given the name of Peanut by a woman on YouTube. And now, Rune, you know the legend of how the nut with no name became known as Peanut. Yippee-ki-yay.